Okay, guys, we're back from lunch as promised. Don't know how much we'll get done, but John is weighing up his airplane. Did you have the header in it when you weighed it before? Oh, you just had it laying in there.
Yeah, but this is a short header. I don't know if you can use them or not, because they get too hot. Burn up the pipes. You gotta use the long header, which is another inch and a half.
Another ounce.
And I think this pipe, look at that.
Yeah, you can use a short on that one. .6. That should be lighter. 2. Yep.
Wow, it's lighter.
It's going down. All that means is more clear.
Yeah, really. Substitute for something else.
You got your pipe mount in there too?
Yeah, there's a pipe mount back there, but this header, I don't know if that's long enough, really, to be honest with you. Normally these things are about 6 inches long. They use them shorter ones and they make them header mufflers.
We already got too much pipe in there. Either gonna be header or muff or
Yeah, but you cut the pipe down. What's the measurement? 18?
yeah, make it so you can go 19, just in case.
The longer the pipe, the lower the RPM, right?
Correct. Some guys are running them 20.
See, this has got a big hole in the center of it. And you can feel it sort of drop through one
Yeah, it's a 3 baffle pipe.
quiet pipe. But what do you measure to? The first baffle? That's what I always thought.
Measured it right there. I'm not gonna put this in the paint stand. You can just hold it for me while I go on the bottom and set it up the wheels.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be like absolutely no overspray or anything, because airbrush.
I wonder if I had any rim screws for that header. That's heavier.
Yeah, that header's way too big, too long.
Well, yeah, I don't know that it's been even set. Stop. I wonder what Randy's got to say about this header length. Header pipe.
He says leave them the same length you could get them from him for, but that's one that you made that's longer.
Well, I know this one is, but I don't know what this one is, and this ain't stock.
Pretty close.
You don't have to have one there, do you?
Not a pipe airplane.
Okay. I think it's somewhere in between these two. Let's see what we got. That's roughly an inch. Say 18.
Make it 19. So you can move it back. Like I say, some guys are around 20s and 22, and
What do you run on yours at?
I think 18 and a half, somewhere in there.
Well, 19 just barely fits like that.
Okay, well, make it,
And that's an inch gap in here.
no, you don't want that. You want that as close as you can to the pipe, so it doesn't burn the pipe up.
Well, that's the reason for making the header as long as you can,
Right.
to get the heat away from the pipe. With this big long header, I can go all the way out to 20 inches and still have to cut the header down a little bit.
Is your pipe tunnel
down.
long enough for that?
No, it's probably not long enough for any of this. I mean, back in there it's long enough because it goes way back in there another inch and a half. Or,
Yeah, 2 inches. Two inches.
yeah, 2 inches.
I my measuring. Let's see, anybody said anything? 4 watchers, 4 thumbs up. Hey guys, what's today's well, I'm working on taping and painting. John is working on getting his airplane ready to go. And I'm about ready to go up to the garage and airbrush this stuff in and then spend 20 minutes taking it apart. So this will probably be a 3-parter today, because it cannot stream out in the garage. It's not even worth trying. I was looking for my hotspot and I couldn't find it.
I probably need to do is cut this needle valve off some and bend it. Figure out where it totally closed is. I have to back that nut off some more. I don't know that I'm there right there. Closed, but
How I do that, you can do it any way you want, is screw it in until it's closed and mark it at that spot and then come out like an 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch, make another mark, put it in a drill press, ding, and then cut it off.
I've watched you do it before. I might have to let you do it. Bend it. I need to find out fully seated in there first. Right?
Yeah.
Get a little wrench.
Get a wrench.
Wrench. See if it's any size that the wrenches are.
1/4.
Well, I know a lot of them say they're 1/4, and a lot of them aren't. Oh yeah, that one is a lot more.
It's all right.
Barely touch it right there. Here, try this one.
This is better. Right there. Because it's so short, you have to cut this off. Well, I
We'll
guess.
bend it first and then we'll cut it off. Right?
Yeah, you gotta take it out of the collar too. It has to be
Just
completely bare.
needle.
Yep, ready to paint. 70 ounces. Yeah, it's getting up there.
Over an ounce.
Yep.
It weighed an ounce before I did put the epoxy on.
You still got paint to go on it yet?
Yeah, maybe. Might not paint the inside. I might just paint the inlet there and the edges of it and call it done.
Our cows weigh exactly the same,
Do they?
except mine's paint.
No, I don't know if there's enough paint on there to mean anything. But there you go. Need to straighten that out.
No. cut it off right there. If you bend it at a 90, no crack.
I don't doubt that. That's got some kind of temper in it. Metal.
I think it's stainless, but
Still warm.
didn't take you long to inspection, huh?
Pull back real quick on that one.
Inspection process was instantaneous.
Yeah, well, if it took that long enough to get the heat out of it, just long enough to burn me. Get warm enough to make you let go. Yeah, it'd be nice to bend it at a 90. I guess if I want to get fancy, I can make a little knob and cut it out straight and put a little knob on it. But then you can't really tell. I sort of like the turn because you can sort of clock it.
That's fine right there where it is. You know, these are easy enough to grab like that.
They don't move that hard, not like Super Tigers. You can lock them things down tight. Oh, worried about damaging those threads doing that. And it just
80 threads per inch is what that is.
that's a lot. I don't have any kind of cap that small. See that did sort of. You can see the shiny spot right there.
Yeah.
How many turns out you've been running that?
Yeah, it started about 4.5.
A little bit just to make sure that
That's it.
that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Ain't like that. Even come backwards. Straight back, so it's not angle is not pointing forward. I hope that's where it ends up at, not forward.
It doesn't matter. If everything worked out right, you should be able to hook the lines up to this and fly a pattern on the first flight. But you'll be shitting a peach.
Yeah, maybe. This is what I always hate about these things. It's getting the threads lined up.
There you go, right there.
Just hard enough that you feel it pretty good when you turn it.
Yep.
There's that. Well, I took a little bit of weight off there.
Yeah, very little. I gotta add it back
I
on.
gotta add this piece of fuel tubing out here for the filler. I probably just put one tube on like that one.
Well, the bad pipe airplane, you need one on the side pointed down. You can't, I mean, you see how this comes out, you risk this touching the pipe. I mean, the header burning a hole in it. You need one plumb going down so that you can plumb it and clear the pipe.
Oh, and an overflow, yeah.
You need one going forward, one coming down.
Right, yeah, I normally do
But
them like
I
that.
do them just like this, just short piece of tubing with water or washer.
Right, same way I do it. I only did it a different way once, and I took a piece of little brass strip and I soldered them both in that, and I put it through from the inside. But then you gotta try to bend them once they're in there, and that's a pain in the ass. So from then on out, I just bent them, soldered a washer on, went in from the outside, super glued them in there, and they held up fine. Probably have to cut out in here to relieve that little area there a little bit for that turn.
Maybe.
I had to do it on all the others. This makes such a tight turn there. It wants to kink the fuel on. I've tried to even put a spring in there to keep it from kinking it. It still doesn't work. And then it's a pain in the ass to put that spring in there. Yeah, see this hole right here? See how good that one fit?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did a great job there.
Wait till you see this one. This is the one that I screwed up on right away. And I messed up on. And then I got better and better. I got a little better on this one and real good on this one.
Then I know how to do it.
Well, yeah, a year ago.
This tubing is still not as thin walled as this.
No, it isn't. This is local. This is probably McMaster car, aircraft grade tubing. So I think that's what I'm gonna do since we're in the winter. I think I'm gonna buy a piece of this tubing from McMaster car, the aircraft grade stuff, and then we'll just bend some of these and I think this is one that I made. That's that Harbor Freight stuff, but I ground the piss out of it. See, this is too thick. What else? I really would like that not to be a butt joint. I'd like that to sink down in there, but by the time, if you make it this thick, by the time you bore that out at an angle, you're through the back side of it. Not where you really want to be at either.
You'd have to see how these are made by Max. Can't be that hard. I mean, they can do it, we can do it.
Well, they're showing that there's been some write-ups on Stunt about this recently. The guy was going to make some.
Ding, 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 ding. Ultra quiet.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Let's see here.
Let's see what we got here. Oh crap. Bad.
Now, looky here. This is supposedly a new in the package header.
Well, that's how long they are then. Yeah, that's how long they are. So you could use that one. You could use the short one.
Supposedly I said,
It is.
I thought they were longer than that. I thought they were 6 inches long.
Yeah, but the ball holes are different.
Yeah, everything's different.
You could use this one. There's not that much difference in the length.
I think it's an inch. I wish I could get some of that gray silicone coupling tube that you used to be able to get. It's about half as thick as that blue stuff.
You have to cut some of the pipe off. You have to make that hole bigger too, because that's where you need to be right there, so it's gotta go back an inch.
Well, I'll probably take that all the way back 2 inches.
Yeah.
Just to have the extra. I purposely put that wall back in there extra far.
Then just cut off some of this pipe to match up to that, but only leave about a 1/4 inch gap.
Yeah, you don't want to leave any at all, hardly. In fact, an 1/8 of an inch is plenty. Just enough so they don't touch. If they touch, they'll vibrate in there, and then it'll
Work loose.
yeah. I don't know if I got another one.
See, John has sanded it out. Very nice. Now he got to sand it and prime it and paint it.
Here's a.
Make it look finished.
This is a high rise,
Yeah, it's too high.
which is too high to use on these things.
That's a Thunderbolt header.
See, that's almost twice the rise. That's another inch higher. That's way too high. Be outside the fuselage.
Not really.
Get everything getting away.
Be all right.
Might be alright. Might have to use that. That's the same length.
Gives you
It's actually a little bit longer.
gives you plenty of room to keep the tank from bubbling.
Yeah, because on some of them, when they fit too tight, you got to put a piece of wood in there to
Insulate it.
insulate it. Yeah. This is a factory. This is a Randy one, I can tell, because he's got all those bolt holes that are countersunk like that, and they're not countersunk on center.
Right.
You got to use just a plain socket head cartridge with no washer or anything on it.
Oh,
I can fit that in there.
And
Let me take this engine out and bolt the header onto it.
You gonna operate on the back too? Cut it open so you can get the pipe in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to fit that all up.
Well, why don't you keep them occupied and I'll go out in the garage and paint.
I can hold on, I don't have to do it right now. You wanted me to hold the airplane and stuff, so I'll go out there and do that. No problem. I'm not in that big hurry, Sparky. You know, I'll take my time. It might take me an hour to cut that back out back there.
And you gotta get out the white paint and start, make sure you paint the inside of that pipe film too.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, so it looks finished.
Might paint it black.
Why?
Why? So it just shadows everything.
Well, guys, what we're gonna do, because I can't stream in the garage, is when we go out in the garage, I'm gonna kill the stream. I'll paint this up real quick. I swear it won't take more than a half an hour.
Take longer to mix the paint up than it will to paint it.
It'll be done, done.
Pretty much. Are these a special size screw? These header screws?
Nope.
They're 440s?
Yep.
Couldn't remember.
440 3/4. I think that's what he used.
I got two in that little plastic vial sitting over there.
They're either 4 3/4 or half. I can't remember. Might be half. Yeah, they're half. I got a PA here for sale for $25. Somebody want to buy it?
Hey. You dare even say anything like that. It only took me 3 or 4 years to get one of those.
Number 250. BCIA. I don't know what that is.
British Columbia?
Maybe.
It came from a guy in Canada.
Number 250 or 259. Randy can tell you who owned it. They don't get lock workers, do they?
I put them on it. I put the lock washers on it, and when I do the final thing, I'll put some silicone sealant on there, and then or some aluminum tape, one or the other. And I want that one. I want this one.
I thought you wanted the high one.
Or yeah, the high one. That's right. See how it fits. Your stomach still raising cane?
Yeah. That'll work.
Yeah, that'll work just fine. It's actually cranked that way a little teeny bit.
Crack that way so that you can turn the motor out. You
I don't have much. All I got is that little bit. Whatever you can start the screws in, tweak it. So that's straightforward.
It'll be fine.
And I take 2 inches out of that, it'll barely work with that. In fact, I might end up having to mod that a little bit. We'll see what do we got here. Go from this first bump. That's 18 and a half right there. Let's see, that's 19 right there. That'll probably bow forward, probably be like that.
It's all right.
I could go over to Radical RC and buy one there. Well, it might not work on that.
I end up cutting the weenie off anyway.
Yeah, I don't like them sticking out like a DD back there. Big red dog. Two screws. That's this side. I'll pick it up.
I don't know. You think I ought to put it on the paint stand?
So much easier. It's out there.
You got the plate down here?
Yeah, it's laying right here somewhere.
That way we can drop some towels on it.
Mm-hmm. See, without cutting that pipe, about 19 and a half, almost. That'll be pretty good. Can always shorten it a little bit if you need to gain some RPM. Oh, that fits in there good.
Leave that down here. I don't need that.
See, I wish there was a way so I could lose a little bit here. Look at this nut.
Yeah, cut some of that off.
Cut some of this nose off.
Both ends, whatever you did.
Well, this goes back into this goes all the way through there and into there's 3/4 inch extension.
Okay.
You know, you need the 3/4 inch extension because you don't have any threads sticking out on the motor after you get that on there. Put this extension on there and all you got is, you don't even have about 1/4 of an inch, the thread sticking out there. So I got that running back in there to where it's almost not quite full engagement of threads.
Randy will always tell you, you can't run an extension on them.
Right there it is.
You know how Randy is.
Sorry, Randy. don't run a lot. I've never run a lot of extensions, but it does, in this case, actually, everything works out pretty doggone good. The venturi lines up. The hole I already got in here lines up.
Well, you know what my thought was of doing that was, right? Move the weight of the motor back towards the center of gravity.
Well, yeah. Like, I just took 3/4 of an inch off the length of the nose. Not missing much now as far as what it takes to. Got a drill hole in the firewall to run the fuel line through. I'll probably go ahead and put a big divot in the side of this fuselage right up there just for fuel line to run in. You're using all the extension cords, and then you got 2 of them. Had an electrician come down here and do work, put in electric shit. Still don't have enough. Never having that. Never ever.
Okay, I'm ready to go. This tank right here is a PA75 tank. It's ever how thick, ever how long. Here, give me a ruler. It's 5.5 inches long. Almost 2 inches wide, it's metric. By 1.5 inches thick.
1.5 inches thick?
Yep.
No, I'm at 1.25 inches by 2 by 6 inches. 6 inches. But it doesn't have any roundness on the edge of it. It's a completely square tank, and that's got a rounded end on it.
Doesn't much matter.
No, 1/4 ounce maybe. Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to end the stream. We'll be back in half an hour, tops. And we'll unwrap it and see what it looks like. And then I got to do it again. All right, guys, see you in a bit.